If you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And this is going to be a brief intro because we're going to be doing a makeup declutter. I will preface this with a few things. Lipstick on my teeth. 1, I have a lot of makeup. This is my #1 hobby. I get it as gifts. I get it on sale. It's more than anyone needs. I'm not here to promote excess consumption. 2, I have completely changed the way I collect and consume makeup. All of this has been collected over almost a decade at this point. I would say like 9 years. That sounds about right. So by no means did I get all of this at one time. 3, I am also going to declutter my eyeshadows, but that's like a long process. I'm having like a hard time just like going through all that. Like I'm all stained from like trying to compare swatches and stuff. So that will be kind of a longer process. One more thing. I will be creating like a makeup purgatory, which will be stuff that I am not 100% I want to declutter yet, but it's kind of like on the chopping block. I want to give it a little more time and really fully form my decision there. So I'll stop blabbing now and just get into the declutter. Hello. I got this nice little mat because my desk is scuffed, but it like holds stains terribly. I did clean it. That's just where we are. So I'm gonna start with the stuff on the top of my desk. Let me start with the stuff that is not going. So all my MAC stuff is here. There are some that I decluttered or thought I was decluttering last year and they ended up, good lord. They ended up back out here because I did end up finding a use for them. So this is all my MAC stuff. It is divided weird. I need to like redo this. And then I have all of my lip glosses that are most used, my melt stuff, and Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. None of this is going anywhere, so we can just skip that. I realized in last year's declutter I did not mention that some people might not realize that when lip products go bad, they start to smell off. So like I was kind of doing that off camera. They start to smell chemically or like crayons. Why did I say crayon? That's how you say crayon, but I don't know why I said it like that. So I do a sniff test. I also test like the consistency to see if that has changed at all. So if you're new to declutters, that's what I'm doing. This is ancient, but it still smells fine. I've never used it. I've mostly just kept it for nostalgia purposes because they don't make the Dr. Pepper lip smackers anymore. So I just have that. I should probably put this in, I mean, it's still good. I should probably use it instead of waste it. So I'm going to put that in my purse, actually. I have all of these little Fenty glosses. They all still smell fine and perform fine, I think. I mean, they don't smell weird. This is my oldest one. No, that's not my oldest one. Yeah, these all smell fine. This is my oldest one. Fenty Glow. Yeah, these all smell fine. I wore one today and it works fine. So keep all these. I literally just got this Luxe Gloss from ColourPop. Prep and Prime is good. This is new. This is only like a year old. It smells fine. I like this Maybelline Lifter Gloss. Like, it looks great. It is just kind of like thick. This hasn't even been opened. I got this as a sample. It's the ABH Clear Gloss. So that will stay in there. This was part of an Ilia birthday gift. I have not used this. It also smells fine. So this one, honestly, I just don't like how opaque it is. I prefer to do a lipstick and then a gloss over it instead of like just a gloss. I'm gonna do like Makeup Purgatory and wear this a little more and see if I want to keep it. Okay, these are all like my nude type lipsticks. Nudes, oranges, etc. So I just got this from Influencer. It's those new e.l.f. What are they called? I don't know. e.l.f. lipstick type things. Keep that. This is, you know, Christmas cookie. It still feels good. Smells fine. It's staying. I know everyone has a feeling about this brand and this person, including me, but there are just some things that cannot be replaced. I'm trying to find replacements. Speaking of replacements, I did find a replacement for the shade Leo, and this is Maybelline Raw Sugar. I'm like half out of it. They don't make this anymore, so now I'm in this weird place. I have to find a replacement for this. I don't think this brand even makes Leo anymore, but this is staying. That's what I'm wearing today, actually. Oh, I have Leo here. Is this any good anymore? Yeah, surprisingly. Alright, keep Leo. I'm struggling to wear liquid lipstick without a gloss on top of it anyway. This is NARS Bad Girl Velvet Matte Lipstick. I hate these things because like air gets caught in the cap and then the cap will pop off. I think in my makeup collection video from 2 years ago, one of the lids popped off and made me scream. It scared me so bad. I know I have colors similar to that and I hate this packaging, so I'm going to get rid of it. One for the declutter. Speaking of, this is my favorite NARS lipstick. This one is super old. I can't pronounce this name. I always want to say Rakuten, but that is not it. Rikujin. This smells, it's old. It's almost gone. I'm going to put this kind of in my empties because it is practically empty. But I have a replacement because they discontinued that shade. And it's my, like a My Lips But Better. It was also my wedding lipstick. So I'm glad I got a backup. But that one can go. I'm going to declutter this Humble shade by Rare Beauty because while this is a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which I love, I have a mini Pillow Talk, and this, I don't know if you could tell by how it's settled in the lines, is so dry it almost like hurts my lips. And I don't know if that's just a me thing because I'm having issues with dry lips in general. So these two things are new, so I'm going to keep their two little Bobbi Brown samples. I have all these little melt ones I'll get to at the end because some of them are like falling out. This is a Kylie liquid lipstick in, what shade? 707. Glow Money. I have not used this. I've swatched it a couple times. I almost used it today. It feels like a nice formula and it's a color I will definitely use, so I will keep this. It just kind of got buried in my stuff. I have an unopened liquid catsuit in Cedar Later and an open one in Send Nudes. Ew, that has turned. So this is gonna go. I loved the color of this, but the one thing I did not like is it never fully like dried down. And it isn't that it needed to be matte, but it almost stayed like a gloss. So it was like the issue with this lifter gloss where it's just super, let me just show you for the sake. It's super thick. So it's like a super thick gloss. I don't know, I don't like it. And that's why I'm thinking I'm not going to like this one either. Oh, they're called High Shine lipsticks. That's why. Okay, yeah, this can just go. Too Faced Melted Matte. I think this one, yeah, this is Pumpkin Spice. Still smells good, so I'm keeping it. Too Faced Melted Matte is a formula I very much enjoy. This I never wear anymore. This is Baby Daddy. And oh yeah, you can see that's like dried out. That's going. This is probably dried out too. I actually have a melt one that's similar. Oh man, that's super dry. I have a feeling I'm getting rid of like 99% of, I'm out of focus. I'm probably going to get rid of 99% of the ones I have left today. So that can go. Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade Hazelnut Hypnotizer. I don't even know what that means. This still smells okay. I don't know how much I liked this though. I have other colors like this that I enjoy more. I got this through Influencer too. It has an incredibly strong coffee smell that I'm not a fan of. It's the Urban Decay Matte. Are these Vice lipsticks? Uptight Matte. It still smells good. I love the formula of this. We're keeping, my only complaint is I always put this on backwards. And the Star Wars, I think is okay. It does smell weird, but has it always smelled like that? Even if I end up decluttering this, it's going in Makeup Memories. So this is kind of gonna go in purgatory because I'm not sure what it's supposed to smell like. So let's do these tiny melt ones. Let me put the stuff I'm keeping back. The colors on the bottom are all the same, so it doesn't help. This is Suntan Undercover. You know, I don't even think they sell full sizes of these, because there was one I really liked, Saucy, and they don't have, ooh, that feels dry. Shameless. I think this is the one that I wanted. Yes. So I'm keeping this. And then Dilemma. Oh, maybe I wanted this one too. Yes. I have a lot of lipsticks that look like those two. This one, or this one just felt really dry. I'm pretty sure this looks like that Urban Decay one. So I'm going to get rid of those two and keep this one because it kind of looks like the vibe of Raw Chocolate and Leo. These are my reds, pinks, strange colors. All right, this is Ancient, this Marc Jacobs. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Marc Jacobs doesn't even exist anymore. Oh, this smells exactly like a box of Crayola, so that will go. This is brand new, so this will stay. This is the Alice in Wonderland Most Curious. I wanted this because it's just a very vibrant pink, and I'm trying to find a dupe. Like, this isn't a dupe, it's close, but I was really trying to find a dupe for this. It's also not the same, but it's close enough. So keep that. This is an ABH American Doll matte lipstick. I really liked this. I like the formula of this lipstick a lot. This is very old and it probably smells bad. Yes, it does. I like the color, but it's gonna go. This, if it still smells good, I'm keeping. It still smells fine, but it's a topper that's just neat. It's almost like a chapstick. I should put that in the gloss drawer. This I'm keeping if it's still good. Yes, this is Unicorn Blood. This color I love for Halloween time, fall time I should say. This should still be good because I used it recently. Yes, this is Wifey. Rose Madder is a favorite. I think this one is, yeah. This one is fine. I am 100% positive all of these tiny ones. Yeah, you can just see how like dry the brush is where it's supposed to look wet like that. So all of these tiny ones, are for sure bad. Now let's, that still looks okay. I don't know what it is, like the larger tubes. Maybe it's because it takes longer for the air to like get in. This is like my oldest one. It's like pre-COVID. I mean, these Shane Dawson ones are pre-COVID as well. I use this one as eyeliner. Probably shouldn't if it's that old. This smells fine as well. This one's kind of dry, so this is gonna go. I love this red. I use this as a Christmas card color. That's like a very bright cherry red. That one is still fine. You know, because it's old, I'm going to get rid of this because I only used it as eyeliner and I'm not putting this on my eyes. And then this is the color I'm trying to find a dupe for because it's the most unique thing. It's almost empty and it is drying out. See how like neon it is? I'm only keeping this to try and find a dupe. It is leaving my collection because there's like nothing left. Like you can't see it from the outside, but I can see like light through the tube. So this is an empty. Now let's see everything I'm decluttering. So this is everything I'm getting rid of from my lips. Then we have two purgatory things. One that kind of smells weird, so honestly I should get rid of it. So Makeup Memories. This I want to try a little more to see if my feelings change about it, or else that will be decluttered. This is an empty, but I'm keeping to find a matching color. So all in all, I'm getting rid of 23 lip products. Cool. Okay, the next is, I'm not going to bother pulling a drawer out. There were only these two things in it. This also goes in my setting spray drawer, but I just leave this out because this is what I use 99% of the time. This is incredibly old. It's also like almost empty. And this is almost empty and incredibly old. I don't use either of these as much as the Fix Plus. This I use when it's really hot or I'm going somewhere because I still mask, so this helps it stay put. But I have a new bottle of this, so I'm just gonna call both of these empty and move along. While we're here, let's just, before I start my drawers, just do like pencil products. These are eyeliners. Some of these I know for sure are staying because they're very new. These are actually like shadow sticks. I've been using them as bases or eyeliners. Like I've used this green one as eyeliner and I've used this one as inner corner. These are from the Alice in Wonderland collection, so they're very new. My Melt Slick Waterlines are new and I love them, so they're all staying. My Urban Decay 24/7 Whiskey is new and a favorite, so it's staying, as is the 24/7 Waterline in black. I would switch to the Melt if they had a black one, but I don't believe they do. I think they're all like skin tone colors, except olive, which is kind of like a yellow. So this will stay. This one is gonna go because it shows up pigmented here, but when I try to use it on my waterline, which is mainly what I use eyeliner for, it does not show up, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I just got these ColourPop liners, so I'm going to keep them. This came free in the box. I don't know if they gave it to me on accident or what. I haven't used it yet. It's because I don't know what I'm going to do with a pastel yellow eyeliner, but they gave it to me, so I'll at least keep it for a while to see if I find a use for it. Oh, this white 24/7 Urban Decay eyeliner keep. I have these two Norvina Chroma sticks that I got to try, and they're nice. I've only used the white one, but the white one's like broke. I don't know. I'm gonna keep these two in Makeup Purgatory, actually. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh, my Bobbi Brown Caviar Ink Longwear Gel Eyeliner. Gonna keep her. She's new and I like it a lot. It's not, let me swatch. It's not like black. Is that enough? It's kind of like a brownish grayish. It's really nice for like a everyday when you don't want the harshness of black. And then I got this. So I ordered the Teresa's Dad eyeliner because it was a really unique color. They were out of it. So they sent me this instead. And I think it's already dried out. Yes, it is. However, I have Inglot Duraline, so I think, oh yeah, you can still get some color off it. So I think adding Duraline, it will be fine. So I will keep this. I haven't really used it because it wasn't the color I wanted. I only ordered an eyeliner because it was a very unique color. They were just like, oh, we're out of stock. They wouldn't refund me. And it was such a strange price. They're like, do you just want another eyeliner? So I was like, sure, I guess. Mustard yellow. These are my Stila Stale Day waterproof liners. I think, like, they still work, but I think they're just kind of old. I have replacements. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these because you can't sanitize them like pencils and they're just kind of old and don't want that near my eye. I'm also just preferring gel liner like in the pot to this. I can control it easier with my tremoring hands. So we are getting rid of 3 eyeliners and 2 eyeliners are going into purgatory. So I guess we're getting rid of 5 eyeliners. Just for full transparency, these are all of my lip liners and honestly, am I gonna get rid of this one? On here, it looks, you can see this color, but this is not the color. It's much brighter. I'm going to get rid of this, actually. This is some MAC Beat. It's just not a color red. Well, I don't know now. So maybe it matches. I have a bluer toned red lipstick. Okay, we're keeping it. I'm full of shit. So, keeping all of these. Now let's move into my top drawer, which is all of my, like, base type stuff. I have a lot of samples in here. I almost always pick fragrance and complexion samples when I make a Sephora order because they're things I like to try out. We'll look and see, because sometimes there isn't a shade that would even work. Like, even this looks too dark, unfortunately. I don't know. Okay, I'll keep all of these ones and get rid of that. Okay, I don't think I'm getting rid of any. Actually, I'm getting rid of this sample because it's empty. I just kept it so I could remember my shade until I bought what it is I bought. So the Urban Decay Hydromaniac, keeping this and L'Oreal Infallible. Keeping, it's too dark. What shade is this? 420 True Beige. This is too dark for me, but I can use it for filming. And it reminds me a lot of the Estee Double Wear. I have both my summer and winter shade, summer shade. I'm at a point right now where I mix the two. Obviously keeping those Holy Grail foundation until they reformulate it. The Halo Glow Tinted Moisturizer. This is my everyday makeup. I have Fair and Light Olive. Light Olive is like a very, like, spent a lot of time in the sun shade. And Fair is full winter, but I'm mixing the two. It's the Bobbi Brown Neutral Sand. I've not tried this yet. I got it when I went to the cosmetic company store outlet for my birthday, and I had wanted to give that a try. And then I have this Revlon Colorstay 150 Buff, which I also have not tried yet. Okay, so I'm keeping all of this. I always said I'd be that person who only ever had one foundation, and here we are, because I have a couple that aren't in this drawer that I'm going to get to. So I have the Rare Beauty foundation that I'm currently in the process of finishing up. It's almost empty. I like the finish of this. Right now it's a hair to drying for my skin, but I also do not like that this is how you get it out. It's messy, so I'm going to call this soon, but keeping. And then I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin, which this is probably top 2 foundations, and they discontinued it, but I'm keeping this as well. I'm also just working on finishing these up because these are my 2 oldest bottles, so wanted to try and finish this up. I do have a backup of this, thankfully. These are just a few little random cubby things. I have the peach corrector, the green corrector, a Freck pen, and then this is the Becca, like, what the heck? I can never remember this. Under eye brightening corrector. All of this is staying. I have 3 primers, the Yummy Skin, Staying Forever, Benefit Professional, and then an e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is Holy Grail, so that's going to stay. These, however, so my doctor is pretty sure that I'm having like this autoimmune thing that just causes like dryness. Inside out, top to bottom of my entire body is just like abnormally dry no matter what I do. And while this used to be Holy Grail, and then I used to pair it with this, like this all over, and tap this into some places, this just has not been working. It's unfortunate because this is like my 10th one, and I have a backup that I got when it was on sale. And like this is just causing some flaking now. Like I just need so much hydration. Neither of these are working, so I think I'm just gonna go. I've been trying to use this while it's been humid, and it's still like it's causing way too much texture for me, so I'm going to say goodbye. Let's just do this powder and concealer area. Okay, concealer, this is brand new. It's the ABH Magic Touch. This was a sample I got, so I'll keep this. The Rare Beauty one is my oldest concealer, so I have this out to try and use up. I really do like this. I like this Stay Naked one better than this, but this has also been discontinued, so for a lighter concealer at the moment, I haven't tried this yet to know, but this will replace this, unfortunately, because this is a little bit better, but this is also good. Both are staying. Tarte Shape Tape is a holy grail for me. This is like my 5th bottle. I absolutely love it. I know some people just think it's too heavy. Even though I have like dry or under eyes, this works well for me because as long as you use less and hydrate your under eyes beforehand, this works really great. This I got free to try for something, and I just don't really like it. Is it translucent? It says it's translucent, so I'm going to keep this for Halloween purposes, but decluttering otherwise. 2 powders, Hourglass Veil. This is the mini that I was just trying. This is amazing, and I will repurchase the full size. This, a MAC Light Plus Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. I mainly use this under my eyes. I have heard that this like breaks people out if you use on the rest of your face. So it's hit the expiration date, and as you could tell, I have used it, but it's hard to like pan something when you're only putting it under your eyes. And because it is close to my eyes and it is now expired by a couple of years, I'm going to declutter this. Also, this just looks better under my eyes than this does anyway. Like, this looks fine. I was wearing it today, but this looks better, so I will declutter this. And then pot concealer, I just got this. It's in a favorites. It's not going anywhere. The only thing is I might get a lighter shade for the winter. Haven't decided. Okay, bronzers and contours. So I'll start over here. This is definitely staying. I just got it. It is a cream contour in mink, and why I'm starting over here is that was the only reason I kept this, as this is mink, and it's the only thing I really used in here. I lightly used these, but they're too orange for my complexion. This is old. I'm talking, I got this in, I don't know, like 2015, very old. So this can go now because I have the cream version, which I prefer. Now, most of this is staying. All of this is staying, actually. Yeah, I think, like, this is a little too dark for me, but I could use this as a contour. I could. It's not as cool toned as this by any means, but I don't know. This one is a perfect bronzer. We'll think about it while I go through the rest. These are actually blushes from Melt, but they are perfect bronzers for me. This one in shade Lynx is perfect all the time. It's a little light when I have a tan, and that's where Sundown comes in. This is better for my tan skin, and when I'm in between like I am right now, I layer the two. I actually layered the two with the makeup I did yesterday. So those are staying. The Melt Powder Santa Barbara Ultra Matte Powder Bronzer, perfection, keeping this. The Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer, this is shade Light, and this one is perfect for me. It's a lot lighter than this one. That's staying because it's a little, like, it's matte. It's not matte. It's not shimmery like those Melt blush lights, and it has a little more depth. These two, I would say, are my cream version of NARS Laguna, which I am almost, like, this is old, and you can see, like, I have used most of it, so I'm actually going to open the full-size one I got at TJ Maxx and declutter this tiny one. This Jaclyn Bronzer Vitamin D. This is really, really nice. I know I mentioned in my palette collection, I don't really know where I stand with Jaclyn Cosmetics. This smells like toffee / maple syrup, and it smells great. But the formula of this is so easy to blend. It's really buttery, and I'm a big fan. You know, I'm liking this one because it's less red than this one. So this is gonna go in Makeup Purgatory while I try it out a little more to see if I'm going to keep it. Okay, this is everything I'm getting rid of out of my complexion drawer. This is going into Makeup Purgatory, and all of this is being decluttered. Next up is like miscellaneous eye stuff. I need to decide if I'm finally done attempting false lashes. I don't know if everyone loves drugstore lashes, but like I can't make eyelashes work to save my life. But I think it's finally time to just be done. So those will go. This is a new Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Universal Volumizing Mascara. I'm going to keep this. I love this mascara. I generally buy mini ones when they're available just because I like different mascaras for different looks, and they go bad after like 3 months, so I don't want to have to like throw whole tubes away. Then we have the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. This is shade brown. This is my everyday mascara. This will be staying. This is just some Ilia one I got as a gift that I haven't tried yet, but honestly I don't know that I would like it, so I'm just gonna declutter it. My Lash Paradise is almost empty, so I'm gonna finish it up. Total favorite, this replaced Too Faced Better Than Sex for me. This is a Bobbi Brown one I just got as a sample, hasn't been opened. Smoky eye mascara, so I'm going to keep this one. This was a huge disappointment. I liked the idea of a purple mascara. I liked that, like, the name is for Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus. This did literally nothing. The purple didn't even show up. Like, I thought my lashes would be this color. They were not. They just looked like their normal color. It didn't lengthen, it didn't volume, it didn't volumize, it didn't do anything. So this can be decluttered. My NYX glitter primer, never going anywhere. This I thought I already decluttered. I don't know why I ended up at the back of the drawer. This is the ABH eye primer. They changed the formula. I'm glad I only bought a mini size because it does not work as well as the old one. Declutter. Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in Eden. I don't like the original one. I only like this one. Keeping Gimme Brow, keeping Brow Setter, keeping Dip Brow, keeping. Next is blush. I'm going to start with blush palettes just because they're bulky and I want to get them out of the way. I don't think I'm decluttering any of these. It's the Pat McGrath Divine Blush Trio Galactic Sun. I don't like that there's a highlighter in here. I wish it was 3 blushes because forget there's a highlighter in it because I don't see it because it's in with the blush. So if I'm not using this palette for blush, I don't remember there's a highlighter. But the Pat McGrath blush formula is one of my favorites, so I'm definitely keeping this. This is the Melt. I don't remember what this is called. I think it means Monarch. I really like the blushes in here. I don't know if these are highlighters or like they're just shimmery blushes, but I don't really use those. I definitely reach for this and this because I'm into orange blushes and I'm really into neon pinks as of recent, so I haven't used that, but it doesn't look like I've used any of this, but I have, I promise. I am definitely gonna keep this. This is just a single. It's one of the Teresa is Dead blushes. I really, really like this, but I tend to forget I have it because it's not, it can't fit up front with my single blushes. So I am going to keep this. This is new to my collection, Rouge Romance by Jaclyn Cosmetics. I used this shade or this shade recently and I really like it. I have an issue with Jaclyn Hill, but her company makes really good quality stuff, so I don't know what to say about that. We're just gonna kind of do like sections of this because I have a lot of blush, so we're just gonna like do a little at a time because I can't fit everything in here. These two are absolutely staying. I'm obsessed. These are currently my most used blushes. This is Butterfly, a nice orange, and Krista, a bright pink. Now I have another orange blush, NARS Taj Mahal. However, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, these are actually quite different. One is darker than the other and one is a little more shimmery, so both will be staying. Let's do NARS Deep Throat. I kept this because it's like a darker version of Orgasm, but I honestly literally never use this. I got this as like a birthday free sample or something. I never use this. I have other blushes this tone I would reach for because they're like more pigmented. I love the NARS blush formula. It's just like the popular colors just don't work for my skin tone, so this can go. Let's do these ColourPop ones. This is Mellow Wine. I know I used to use this a lot, and this one is Keep It Peachy. I know I really like Keep It Peachy. Oh, it's very crumbly. I know I have versions of both of these in a formula I like better, and it's a little more pigmented, which I personally prefer, so I'm going to get rid of these, but I will say, if you're looking for good, affordable blushes, Wet n Wild Color Icon is fantastic. They're just not for me anymore. They were good when I was starting out, but I like some more pigment. This is actually a highlighter. It's Phoenix Highlighter by Melts, but it is much too dark for me to use as a highlighter, and honestly, it's probably too dark for me to use as a blush too. So I'm going to let this go. Next, my ColourPop ones. Fighting Crime is definitely not going anywhere. I use this on a regular basis. This one is Saving the World, which is just a generic peach. And I'm going to set this aside because I might have something similar I like a little more. So I'll set that aside for comparison. And this one I just got, it's Silence. I don't have much like this at all. Actually, maybe in that Jacqueline palette, but I like the ColourPop blush formula, so that one will stay as well. But I do just want to do a quick peek in here. No, actually, that doesn't have this. There's definitely, I think this one. Well, that's more pink, that's more red. Oh, and that's deeper, so I don't actually have anything. So these ones will stay. Next are my CoverFX blush duos. These were my first blushes outside of the Wet n Wild, so like my first high-end blushes. I got these 50% off. Well, I got one full price, and when I liked the formula so much, I got the other colors I liked during one of those half off Ulta sales. So let's go through these. This one is Warm Honey. This is a nice like beigey peach that I use very regularly. Then we have Spiced Cinnamon. This is my favorite like winter fall. God, my brain just spaced. Then we have Soft Peach. This one is probably my most used, Mojave Mauve. You don't need much, so they don't go, I don't go through them too quickly. And then Pink Dahlia. I probably use this one the least. I use them all quite frequently though, but I want to just kind of open all these, have a seance. This kind of looks like this, but not quite. Anything in here resonant? These two are similar. The thing is, I love these like toppers. They kind of do a nice draping between like a highlighter and a shimmery blush. I don't think I can bring myself to get rid of any of these because, again, I use this Pink Dahlia the least. The ones I use the most are definitely the Soft Peach, Mojave Mauve. Oh, that's Warm Honey. This is Mojave Mauve. I use those two probably the most, looking at usage, and then these two. I don't know. When I want a soft pink, I'm just keeping all of these. Let's start with Patrick Ta because this is my favorite blush in my collection. Most used, favorite blush, obsessed. I want more of these, honestly. This KVD Foxglove. This is where I started when I was looking for cool toned blushes. And it's really nice. Cool tone. However, I might have things like Mocha that are similar. Mocha is more blue pink. This one, maybe? No, that's much warmer. Maybe that one. It's a different finish though. No, that's different too. Okay, I'm definitely keeping the Pat McGrath blushes. I use Foxglove a lot, so I'll keep that. Mocha, I like. That is very new to my collection, but I got all these MAC blushes when they were half off because I hadn't tried them before and I was just kind of guessing online about the colors. This one is Floor Power. I like that one a lot. You know, this one is sort of reminding me of like a darker version of like that Dior Popular blush. This is Melba. I like that. I need to figure out if I have anything like this. This seems just like a brighter peach. Honestly, it doesn't show up on me well at all. Makeup Purgatory. This is the reformulated Warm Soul, but I really liked the idea of just kind of this mixture between a bronzer and a blush and a highlighter. Like a bronzer situation. I know that I probably could have gotten what I was going for better with one of those Bare Minerals bronzers, I think. But this was half off. So I am going to keep this. I did decide to keep this. This one I'm not quite sure about. And this one I really like. This is the Glow Play Blush and Blush Please. This is like a nice, like cream to powder, but it's a really nice mauve tone. This is probably my favorite of all the MAC shades that I have. I know I was looking for cool toned blushes, and that's why I got this. So this is gonna do Makeup Purgatory as well. I test that a little more. And then this is All Laced Up Super Shock Cheek. This looks way more orange than it is. It just is peach. This is gonna go in Makeup Purgatory because I knew it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be more like that, the Cover FX like topper portion. And it isn't. Finally, we have my Melt. The rest of my Melt, I have the entire collection of the Melt cream blush lights. I got the core collection in a box set that ended up being on a massive discount, well over 50%. I don't remember the exact discount, but it was incredible. And then I got the two new ones when they had a 50% off sale. So I did not pay full price for any of these. Two of them, like I showed you, are bronzers. Or I use them as bronzers because they don't work on me. So let's just go through these. I don't think I'm getting rid of any of them, but let's just check them out. I think this is one of the new ones. There are brush fibers in it. I like this shade a lot. This is Daydreamer. This one is kind of dark. I have obviously used it quite a bit. I think it reminds me of like that spiced cinnamon. These are all, let's go in here. Oh, eyeshadow stains. This is a bit dark, but if I'm light-handed, I don't know, that kind of looks dirty. Is it just me? I'm putting this in Makeup Purgatory because that's not giving me the vibe that spiced cinnamon does. That just kind of looks, it doesn't work for me. That is definitely meant for deep skin tones to be kind of natural. Honey Thief, I like that. Oh, we're gonna set that off because it's not a horrible. Sandy Cheeks, my most used one. My most used blush. Or cream blush, I will say. I'm wearing that today. Golden Hour, I have used, let me compare that to, okay. Honey Thief is not shimmery, it's the cream version, and it's a bit dark, darker. I'm keeping that one though. Cali Dream. Oh, that's very peachy. Like these two are similar, so I'm going to make a decision. They're not the same, but they're close. This is very peach, so that will stay. Pinched. Oh, this is the other new one. I haven't even touched it. I'm obviously going to keep this, but oh yeah, that's, you can't see this. That is very pretty. It's similar, but like a little more cool toned than Honey Thief. I think I like Honey Thief more than Golden Hour. And we'll come back to those. And then Pink Sand. That's very similar to, those three are absolutely staying. I didn't even know any of these would be on the chopping block. I'm shocking myself over here. So I want to really test these. Okay, let's, the four I want to test. So I can visibly see the difference, but sometimes, and this is the thing with ordering stuff online, when you can't always test it. So these three are like matte, and this one has some shimmer in it. So we'll start over here with Golden Hour, and then Honey Thief. Okay, like those are clearly very different. And then Pinched. And pink sand. Pink sand would be a good like everyday shade because it is not too dark at all. Definitely keep this golden hour. Makeup purgatory. Keep. What's the other one in makeup purgatory? Daydreamer. Oh yeah, because that one looks kind of muddy. Okay. Did I put this? Did I show this in the last one? Did I show any? Okay. I don't know what I did. So we're just... If I'm showing something a second time, it's because I have the memory of a goldfish. This is everything I'm getting rid of that I think I haven't shown yet. So this is just, some stuff is just a declutter because it's bad. Or like, it's just not gonna go to anyone. I'm gonna find new homes for some of it, but like these 4 are just for sure gone out of my collection, and this as well, this highlighter that's much too dark for me. And then these 5 things are in makeup purgatory for me to give a little more love to before I decide what's happening. Let's start here because not everything is going to fit. These 2 things are staying. These are Odin's Eye highlighter palettes that they don't make anymore. This one is my favorite color. It broke, so I had to smush it back in. And I really like this one and this one. I haven't used these 2. If I were to declutter one, it would be this one because I use this one way more. Like all the colors I use way more, especially this. So, because that's just like pure glitter. Ooh, that's pretty. I got these from a friend, so they're very new to me. Oh no, I like that. Okay. Yeah. Keep both of those. I just wanted to check. This I just got, and it's... Oh! You all saw that. This is why I hate fingernails. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to use that much highlighter that's purple in my life, but dang it. Anyway, this is perfect. Amazing. I love it. Cookie keeping. This was one of those ones I wasn't sure that I would like. And then there was a brief rumor it was being discontinued, and I hurried up and bought it. Really, they were just repackaging it into this thinner packaging. But I'm glad I have it because it is incredibly flattering. I was worried it would be too like icicle-y on me, but it isn't. You just have to apply it correctly. These 2 Ofra highlighters. Glazed Donut is not going anywhere. This is very unique and I like it. This one, however, this is the Start inspired by Samantha March. It's actually like 2 colors combined. So you can use one or combine the 2. And it's very pretty, but it's not like this one where it's just kind of like show-stopping. They're just fine, and I'm not sure because like I have other stuff we'll get to. I'm gonna compare it to some things. This is the Hocus Pocus body powder. I use this as like a fun green highlighter. It kind of like is sticky. Like that is cool. So keeping that. I thought I didn't like glittery highlighters. It turns out I just don't like Jeffree Star's glittery highlighters because they're like chunky. Champagne Pop will never go anywhere. The best highlighter in the world. I'm glad Smashbox saved that. And this is Rose Quartz. I kind of want to compare this to that Samantha March one. Like it's not as blinding, but it just kind of looks more flattering. I don't know, man. Let me see Cookie. Cookie is something. Cookie looks like this one, but better. So this one might end up in purgatory. Those we're keeping. Let me finish up my powdered. I don't have a lot of cream highlighters, but look at that. The Rare Beauty Exhilarate. This is pretty much as good as Champagne Pop in my opinion. I want to get the other one they were out of. Skin Lights is not going anywhere. This is Daybreak Glimmer. It's a dupe for Amrezy ABH highlighter. Keep that. These two I actually use pretty frequently. This is kind of a dupe for Champagne Pop, but it's a bit dark for me. So I think I can finally let this go. And then this is Blossom Glow, which is probably like a Rose Quartz dupe, but it's lighter than Rose Quartz. And honestly, I think it goes like that. It looks like that, but better, so I'll keep that one. And this, I think it's just gonna go in Purgatory because I don't dislike it, but it's not really standing out to me, so... Alright, the only two like cream highlighters I have, well actually that's a lie. This Auric is technically a cream highlighter. I have it on my desk as kind of like a primer, but I forgot to go over it in primers. This won't go anywhere. I will continue to repurchase this. This is one of my favorite products in my entire collection. Then I have this Melt Sex Foil in Peaches and Cream. I'm wearing this today. This isn't going anywhere. And then this RMS Living Luminizer I also love. It's not sparkly, it's a living luminizer as it says. It just gives you this nice luminosity. I love this for everyday makeup. It's light, it's heavy, it's kind of like a balm, but it doesn't stay sticky. For highlighters, these are going. This is for sure going. This is in Makeup Purgatory. Okay, let's do the last category, which is like single shadows. These are all ColourPop Super Shocks, and well, maybe they're all Super Shocks. This is a Jelly Much. This I'm not going to open because I don't want to risk letting air in. Staying, I love that. It's limited edition, unfortunately. This is the Aries from Kathleen Lights. I don't know. I don't think this is Super Shock. It's not very interesting. I literally never use it. I only keep it because it's an Aries package. I think this can go. Probably to make up memories, but still. Now it's now to Super Shocks. This Ripple shade, not going anywhere. Like a Moss, not going anywhere. Amaze. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping all of these, but let's swatch. Yep, Amaze will stay. Oh, I know for sure that Waka Waka is staying. Ritz is staying. This is Mighty Morphin. I want to compare that to Ritz. Okay, the base is different. I like to use Super Shocks, like rarely on their own. I like to use them to intensify other shimmers. Like mixing these on top of like a Pat McGrath shade. Oh my. Okay, so this is straight up just silver. This is Ladybird. This is a maybe. This one is kind of like pink and silver. I know you're not going to be able to see this on camera, so I'm not really trying to show you. So this is Ladybird. It's very silver. This one, I don't know if you can tell. There's some color to it. And then we have Secret Garden. I'm pretty sure this is a keep. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I don't do silver that often, and I honestly have a Pat McGrath one that I like way more. I'm just gonna declutter that. All right. We have Auric Entice. Definitely keeping. I love the Auric shadows. On that note, where am I looking? Temper, keeping. This Bobbi Brown shadow stick I have not used, so that can stay. Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize Chocolate Bronze, keeping. Victoria Beckham Honey. This keep. Ugh, I love these. I wish they weren't so expensive. Kind of like the Eyes to Mesmerize. What is this? J-Cat Houdini. Oh, it's very pretty. Keep. I got some of these, like a friend sent them to me as a little gift. These are 2 Flower Warrior Glitter Shadow. I don't know that I'm gonna use these, and no, I'm not. The glitter is like too chunky. These are beautiful, but they're not for me. And I learned that with this Stila, like this I'm pretty sure is just dried up at this point. Oh boy, I'm sure you saw that. So yes, it's quite dry. It's so pretty and would be great as a topper. It isn't all the way dried up inside. I don't know. Makeup Purgatory, I think. And then I have I'm just like, I don't know. That one is kind of dry now. And this is too glittery. And it's also dried out. So these 2 Stilas can go. This one I want to use as a topper. Am I going to? Literally no. Those can go. This Urban Decay Psych Shade, I recall being a big fan of. Oh yeah. That's great. I just forget it's in there because this is like all my like one and done shadows, and that's not a one and done shadow. This I got on accident. This was supposed to be a mustard yellow, and it doesn't show up on my skin at all. I was going to keep it to blend things out. I literally never do that, so this can go as well. So these are what I'm decluttering. 2, 4, 6, 8 shadows. This is going to make up memories, and these are all just going to go. So I took a couple of days to go through my palettes, really swatch and compare things to see what was similar or which I preferred the formula of. I used a couple of these to see how I felt about the formula, and let's go through the stuff I am decluttering. First is the Riviera palette, which made the cut last time because I really like the shimmers, but I have not reached for the shimmers a single time. And while they are very nice, I have other shimmers I like better. Next is this BH Do Not Disturb. This is pretty and a great quality, but I have these colors and other things, and the shimmers just weren't as impactful as I prefer from a shimmer, so I'm gonna pass that on. This Makeup by Mitchell Feet on the Ground palette. When I've used it, I just really struggle with like these, they're not brown, they're like greenish brown, and this color is terrible. I didn't even bother messing with the black. The quality is just not good, and the shimmers are just meh, so I gave the brand a shot, and I've heard good things about the liquid blushes, but the eyeshadow is not it. This was on the chopping block. If you missed me talking about it, I didn't get the full palette. I was missing a day, and so this just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I had 2 of this, so I kept the proper formula, and this is the one that was messed up. The mattes I have versions of already. I just kept all the shimmers because they were really nice, and I put them in a singles palette. Up next is Empty, because, well, let's do both empties. Is this empty? Yeah. The It's All Good is empty, and the Just My Luck is empty. I decided to do my own ColourPop palettes. I took the palettes I was keeping, kept all the shadows I liked, got rid of some stuff like glitters, and repackaged everything. So these are 2 empty palettes I'm keeping in case future ColourPop palettes I kind of want to do the same thing and like make my own. You will not see, you'll see one ColourPop that is maybe fully together. But yeah, all my ColourPop like 9 pans are custom shades now. Next is the Huda Rose Gold Remastered. This one was kind of hard because I like this palette, but all of these shimmers I have in Pat McGrath palettes. I also have a lot of the mattes in Pat McGrath palettes, and I just prefer Pat McGrath's formula. So this is gonna go. These two are gonna, well, one is gonna go in Makeup Memories. This one is gonna go in Makeup Memories. I have strong love for this, and it's still good. The quality is fine. It hasn't turned on me. However, I never reach for it because if I'm going to use these warm tones, I prefer my Urban Decay Naked Heat. And then my other colorful palettes that I prefer the formula of over Morphe. But this was my first, I guess, colorful palette. I did have an Urban Decay one that was technically my first, but I didn't know how to use it and it scared me. I mostly got it, and I wanted it for the packaging and it was a gift. But that has gone into Makeup Memories as well because the formula just isn't there. So this would go into Makeup Memories. And then this is just going to be decluttered because it's good, but I have plenty of pinks elsewhere and I'm just honestly over Morphe makeup. Next we have my last intact Jason Salami palette. I'm keeping Subculture from ABH, so I don't need to keep this. Up next is the Nabla Cutie palette. Like I mentioned with the Huda palette, I have a lot of these tones in Pat McGrath palettes. I love the formula of Nabla, but I don't ever find myself creating a look with these 3 mattes. I was keeping it for Alchemy 2.0, but I'm forgetting off the top of my head which shade I found is a dupe, but I do have a dupe for this shade in my collection, so I don't need to keep this. Next, I'm finally getting rid of the Neon Huda palette, but it is staying in my Makeup Memories because, you know, these got recalled. The formula of this is just, it's not it. I've mentioned multiple times in multiple videos, I don't like the 9-pan Huda palettes. I just don't think they're good. I kept this because I didn't have anything neon in my collection. I do now. And so this can finally be decluttered to my memories. Speaking of hating the 9-pan palettes, these are both going to go. I've mentioned before, I like them, I use them, but I have tones like these in Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath doesn't crease on me. These shimmers, for some reason, crease on me. And I don't have an issue with creasing, so I don't know what this is. I always use a glitter glue on my shimmers to prevent that from happening, but these are resistant to the glitter glue. Again, just not that impressive. I'd rather use my Pat McGrath ones for those shades. Next is the Berries by Juvia's Place. I like this, but I did not use it that much. I mostly liked it for this shade, and I did find a dupe for this, I think, in one of the holiday Pat McGrath palettes. You're going to hear this a lot. Pat McGrath. But Pat McGrath does a lot of like berries, roses, mauves, etc. So I can get rid of some of these. Next is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Strawberry Feels. I picked this up very cheap, maybe like $6 or so to try the formula. It's terrible. I don't recommend trying any of her eyeshadow. Up next is this tiny Mykonos palette. This is cute. I got it relatively cheap, but the formula just, it's fine. These shimmers aren't mega impactful. They're not bad either, but they're not what I reach for. I have bolder blues in my shimmers, so I'm going to pass this on. Next is Main Squeeze. This is the one ColourPop palette I left intact. All the colors that I didn't keep from the other palettes, I just threw away because I either broke them or they were just not good quality. This one is fine quality. I just don't care for it, and I have these tones in Jason Salami singles, so I don't need to keep this. I got this and another one to dupe those shades, but honestly, I don't even want to make that video because I just don't talk about him anymore, so... This is a Makeup Memories. I only got this for the packaging. My nickname has been Sam I Am since I was a kid. The quality is not good. It's not bad either, but I wouldn't recommend buying this. I just got it because it's cute. My last Makeup Memories. This is the Naked 3. This is my first high-end palette. It was a gift from Eric. It has a lot of sentimental value. it being my most used palette in my collection for many, many years, it being my wedding makeup, it being a gift from Eric. Like, there's so many things here. Also, I think this was truly one of the first palettes that did a color story like this. I mean, now you'll see this all over the time, but like all over the time. All over the place, all the time. And, you know, these cool mauves with pops of champagne and rose. I just love it. The only reason this is going into Makeup Memories and not staying in my collection is I've noticed the formula is kind of turning on me, but this is the oldest thing in my collection. Last palette I'm decluttering. I don't really need to say anything. I have better rainbow palettes. I would normally put something like this. You know, I might put it in Makeup Memories. I don't want anything to do with the Jamis Chenez, but I spit on this. I'm sorry. This was like a big deal when I got it, so I think I will put it into Makeup Memories. Nobody sees this but me, so it's probably okay. And the last thing is just a bunch of singles. I went through all my Jason Salami singles and I pulled out dupes or my hair. Dupes or shimmers that don't impress me. Like, they're just not very impactful. I don't buy from this brand anymore. I don't talk about this brand. However, I stand behind the fact that the formula is good. The formula impresses me. I like to use the formula. So I don't want to get rid of things that I like using for the quality. I won't replace anything once it's gone, but I already paid for it, so why not use it? These, however, I won't use. They're not good. So I was able to condense everything I kept into one palette, which was really nice. If you saw the depotting video, I had 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3. I had 3 palettes full of these, and I was not using them because I had to bring out 3 of these massive palettes. But now that they're in one, so much easier. Now we're going to talk about Makeup Purgatory. Makeup Purgatory, like you learned in the other ones, are things I want to give more of a try to. I only have 4 palettes here. I started with 20 in Makeup Purgatory and was able to really weed it down as to keep or declutter. These ones I'm still not sure. And I mentioned I was keeping this, but it is in Purgatory. ABH Subculture. As I have the At Forest site, good lord, I have a total brain fart. As I have At Forest site, this is very similar. It's not the same, and my hair is everywhere. Oh my goodness. I love this electric shade. I did find a dupe in my collection for that and Acorn, so I can let this go if necessary, but I really want to use it a few more times to see how I feel about it. This one would also go into Makeup Memories just because of all the controversy behind the quality. Have some good memories here. I do have the reformulated one, so it's better than the original, but I want to give this some more tries before I make a decision. Next one is shocking, or will be shocking if you've been here for a minute. It is the Jackie Aina palette. This palette quality is phenomenal. That isn't why it is in Purgatory. It is in Purgatory because I find myself not reaching for this palette when I want the types of colors that are in this palette. I have a very large collection. If you watched my collection video, you know that. I filmed that first, so all of this is in the collection. A very large collection, and while that is useful for me, I want to make sure there isn't stuff sitting there being ignored, and this was becoming one of those ignored palettes. This shade and this shade were 2 that I really felt inspired by in this palette, but I have dupes for both of these in my collection. So I want to give it a few more shots, see if I was just overwhelmed with a bunch of extra stuff, or if this just doesn't speak to me the way that it used to. The second to last palette, I'm leaning towards this being a declutter. It's the Nomad Haunted Europe palette. The shimmers in here are okay, but not amazing. And some of these mattes I struggled with when I used them, particularly this one. I really love the color story though. It's very unique, it's very neat. It's my first experience with the brand, and I think I heard that their formula is better now. And my last Purgatory, this was in Purgatory last year as well, but it got a little buried. This is the volume 6 Norvina palette. Yes. I love this color story. Lots of neons. It definitely makes up for the neon Huda. I know I mentioned I didn't like the weird jelly texture of this. I felt like this bottom row was difficult to work with. However, I was using a natural hair brush when I used this, and over the last year since then I have added synthetic brushes to my collection. So I would like to give this a shot with synthetic brushes, because I found with a lot of palettes, if it's not working with natural hair, there's a good chance it will work really well with synthetic. It's not always the case, but it's quite often the case. So I want to give that a shot, because I just love, especially these 3 rows, I just love the pastels and like the neons in it. I think it would pair well with a lot of other stuff I have. So I'm hoping that the brushes make this work more. But if it doesn't, then that will also go. I'm back. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please focus my camera. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's not focusing on me at all. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you guys next time.